Hello everyone, welcome to a special edition of an art activity for your holiday break. Hope you're doing well. Get settled in your art kits that you should have. Um, you'll have a ballpoint pen, 2 watercolor color pencils, very special, and a brush pen. You're also going to have some paper for you to work on, but feel free to use any kind of paper you have at home. In your kit is also going to be a brush, and you're going to want a napkin and water cup. So pretty much your brush and watercolor color pencils are going to replace your typical watercolor set. So here I have 8 rectangles folded from my piece of paper. You could do this or work on different pieces of paper, but just follow along because in each rectangle I'm going to kind of showcase different ways to use your materials, alright? So have fun. Take one of your watercolor color pencils and start fast and evenly coloring in a given space of your paper. Your follow-up step is simple. You're going to get your brush and wet it, and you're going to apply water to the space you just colored in. And essentially the pigment of the color pencil is going to disperse because of the water, and it's going to look like simple watercolor, as if a color pencil was never used. Pretty cool, right? Your next exercise is the gradient exercise, and what this would do is test how well you can control a color going from darker to lighter. In this case, how my pink goes from a darker pink to a lighter pink. And how I do this is by applying more pressure from one end to another end. You're going to follow this up by applying water and seeing how well you can control your color going from a dark to light. And all this to me is just you getting warmed up, because next is the wet on wet. And before you do the wet on wet, you're going to want to clean out your brush, get the color out of it, and you're going to apply water to give an area on your paper. And you're kind of working backwards. You're applying the water first, and then you're going to add the color pencil pigment, and also use your brush again in the process to kind of help the pigment of the color pencil spread out. Some people love this, some people hate this, but next is the color blend exercise. And I personally love it because what you're doing is you're creating a part of the rainbow. I would say at least 3 colors or 4 colors to make it work. I'm kind of cheating because I'm adding red and yellow to my lineup of colors. And I'm going to start off with pink, and after pink I'm going to say it's red, of course orange, and then yellow. And again, you're going to use your brush to have them blend out. And FYI, no one works this fast. Please do not try to mimic my hand movement, because there'd be something wrong with you if your hands are moving that fast. This is fast forwarded, folks. Let's go with something more calming, more slower. The wording exercise is where you're just gonna take one of your materials and write a word down. My word is love, and I'm gonna apply water to it to see how it reacts, if I like that kind of style. I'm gonna try out my ballpoint pen. And it doesn't quite react well. I don't really like it because it just stays put, doesn't spread out with the water. The brush pen, it'll work. I wrote down hug, and before that with the ballpoint pen I wrote down the word growth. And oh, I forgot to remind you guys that you're not limited to just these tools in your kit. That's the most obvious artistic thing, that you can never have more than enough tools. And I want to encourage you to find materials that you never thought could be used for art. This includes highlighters and just pens in general. All right, make it pens galore, pens of any color, of any size, pens with stripes. Just make it a mission to add as many pens you can to your arsenal of art making. Now, to really test you is brush control. You're going to take a pen and start creating random lines and lines to create random shapes. Now, you might think you're creating new shapes, but I hate to break it to you. I remember that, well, in science, it's that nature and life itself is composed of shapes. From whenever you look at plants and even our DNA, our molecules, it's composed of shapes. So I'd like to believe that any shape that has existed or that could ever be created, it has already been created by nature itself. And so, I don't know, just interesting new info for you. Thank you for hearing all that. For me, it's interesting info. I hope I didn't bore you. So yeah, let's get back to the program. You should be using materials from your kit or from your home. And the trick is to barely add color and use your brush to make the color more vivid, to spread it out and keep it within the lines, because what this exercise is to test your brush control. All right. And if you want, you can create more lines to create more shapes and make it more interesting for you. Note to self: when you add water to your highlighter, the vividness, the color of the highlighter will fade away. So just be aware of that. Recalibrate yourself. I believe that means to kind of clean yourself up, fix yourself. So yeah, recalibrate by clearing your area, clearing your mind, because next is the exercise, blah blah blah, experimental exercise, where you're just gonna take materials and see how they react to water. So yeah. Our last and final exercise is splatter. You might have done a splatter technique with regular paint before, but there's still many ways to do it. And so I want you to, on another piece of paper with any kind of material, do a splotch of color And with your brush, you're going to want to absorb that color, and you're just going to throw that color that's very water based, so it's not going to be as dark, but it's still going to work. And you're just going to kind of flick the brush so that it gets onto the paper in uncontrollable ways. And please find joy in it, parents, adults, young kiddos. Get your grandma and parents to do this. The splatter technique. It's very fun and in my opinion, therapeutic. Kind of stress relieving. And as you can see, another technique of the splatter is using the whole entire brush to kind of flick it. And by flicking the whole entire brush, you're going to create larger entities of splotches, a splatter. And that's it, people. This is something that you could be creating. And all that was used is just everyday materials, other than the watercolor color pencils. Materials of your everyday life, your highlighters and your pens. And for me, this comes to show that art really comes from your head, and how you can expand materials, their everyday use. And I feel like that's a testament to you, how you expand your limitations, your mind, and just have fun with it, guys. Take care, have fun, bye.